My name is Peter Schiefke. I'm a member of Parliament for a riding just outside of Montreal called Louis-Soudange, so I'm from Quebec. I was appointed by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to be his parliamentary secretary. And the reason that I'm here is that Prime Minister Trudeau is the first Prime Minister in history to also take on the role of Minister of Youth. The Prime Minister is also giving a voice to young Canadians at the decision-making table. And so one of the first things the Prime Minister did was create something called the Prime Minister's Youth Council, which is essentially a council of young Canadians with representatives from every province and territory. One of the first tasks that was given to this youth council was that they were going to launch the discussions on the creation of the first ever youth policy for Canada. So what is a youth policy? Essentially, a youth policy is something that the Prime Minister wants to create that will act as a blueprint that future governments, including our own, will use as a basis by which we make decisions. So we want to create a document that outlines what we've heard from young Canadians as their priorities. And then it'll serve to gauge the future successes of future governments on whether or not they were able to put in place investments and different programs to meet those priorities and objectives that youth have told us, right? So all to say, it's never been done before. The creation of a youth policy has never been attempted in Canada. Our Prime Minister is very ambitious and he wants to get it done before the end of his first term. And what I'm doing, and what I've had the honor of doing over the last couple of months, is touring across the country to make sure that every single province and territory and small community has a chance to have their voice heard in the creation of this youth policy. And what I'm interested in hearing from you today is what you think we as the government should be focusing on. What are the priorities we need to be focusing on right now based on your experiences here in Whitehorse, based on your lived experiences, which are different from other Canadians in different provinces and territories?
Why is it that I'm looked down upon because I am a person of color? I have a house, I have a car, I got here.
A lot of the problems I've been thinking about lately stem from our education system. A lot of students here drop out, and it's because they don't feel like these teachers care.
After I graduated high school, I went into liberal arts. I tried to take Y and TEP program, and I got depressed. I can't go to school. I can't go to school because it makes me depressed because it doesn't cater to how I learn.
Maybe because I got suspended for smoking some pot at the smoke times. Even that, punishments should be different. They shouldn't get suspended and kicked out the door because they're going to come downtown and get wasted anyways. You're not helping them there. And if we could change the education system, everywhere, even throughout Canada, to actually tailor these classes to the specific needs of a student, I think you'd watch youth excel a lot more than fall back. I mean, if you start changing things like the infrastructure of our education system, you could watch a lot of problems change because they realize they could get help with these things as opposed to just thinking, well, I'm going to be a failure, so I'm just going to go drink anyways. A lot of people do feel that way. A lot of youth, especially in this town, this is where I've been locally based. I've grown up here my entire life, and a lot of these youth around here now just don't feel like anybody gives a shit about them. So why should they even try? And that's kind of the Canada you'd be looking at. Even if it is just locally here, that's our Canada here. So that's what we're looking at as a future in Whitehorse, is a bunch of people that don't care.
But the system needs to be reformed. Absolutely, what you're saying. Now, is this is kind of a general overarching theme of the justice system itself needs to be transformed or to updated?
Justice system, social work, and foster care need to go and collaborate because that's where the problem starts. Yeah, it is an education, but
more or less
we need to start raising parents.
Yeah.
We need to start raising parents, and then guess what? That's when our kids succeed.
Yes, it's great that we have there's housing that's going in. That's an excellent idea, but it's also have creative solutions to different things as well. If that's ensuring that an apartment building, working with landlords to ensure that there's certain units that are available at a reduced cost for young people.
I've known people that were growing up and they had to steal food for them and their younger siblings just so they didn't have to starve another night.
Yeah, I have a lot of trauma in my life. But I'm still here, still wondering why the government isn't fighting hard for the youth. Why is it that we are always, you're too young, you need to be educated to have wisdom. No, we are in a backwards country because of how much trauma. We gotta look to the youth, not the elders anymore. Gotta look to the youth because, yeah, we got all your guys' stories, but now we have ideas to push us forward. We have the drive.
Not only do I appreciate the fact that you shared priorities with me, and you came out and actually spent an hour and a half with me, but particularly for those of you who shared personal stories, like the one you're sharing with me now, that means a great deal. It shows how much all of this means to you and just how much the challenges that we're facing have affected you and your personal lives. And so I appreciate that very much. I know it's not easy. I'm sure it's the tip of the iceberg. I know. And the thing is, we've heard them across the country, and that's why we're doing this, because we do realize that there are a lot of challenges that we need to overcome, that we need to be doing a better job as societies, as governments, to meet those challenges. What we're going to do after this, I'm going to share this with the Prime Minister. This is actually the last stop that we have on our national tour. I want to keep you up to date with the progress on this, though.